Why aren't more people talking about Northern Ireland? When most people think about Ireland, I think they picture Dublin, the Cliffs of Moher, the wild Atlantic Way. Maybe they make it as far north as the Giant's Causeway. But Northern Ireland has so much more going on. So we spent 10 days exploring the country from its lakes and castles to beaches, forests, golf courses, so much golf, traditional music, and one very unexpected spa. And honestly, we kept having the same reaction. Why aren't more people talking about this? So let's get into it. All the surprises we encountered along the way to get you planning a trip to this place. We've stayed in a lot of hotels, resorts too, but we've never done anything quite like this. I mean, things got super relaxed over here, relaxed enough that allowed this video to happen. We were staying at Finlaw in County Fermanagh, and the spa here isn't really a spa in the traditional sense. You actually wander through the forest from one experience to another, no matter the temperatures outside. This is their self-guided Element Spa Trail experience, basically a series of cabins combining hot and cold therapy. There are floating salt pools, saunas, steam rooms, outdoor hot tubs, and a cold plunge that means jumping into the lock as many times as you want, by the way, in the 20 minutes you have at each station.
And then the sauna!
Are you gonna do it?
Everything is surrounded by this peaceful landscape. Our cabin was on the lake, but you can also stay in bubble domes that open up to the sky. I think it's just best that you see what it was like for yourself.
Oh, where'd he go?
Oh,
How is it?
it's cold as fuck.
Just doggy paddle.
Huh?
Just doggy paddle.
They said it was only 5 degrees Celsius.
I had to exit. It's too hot in there. It's too hot. It's raining for my test, so I'm more brave. Right? Say I'm brave.
You're very brave. We're going back in there when done.
I'm brave, right?
You're so brave.
So brave. It's very cold.
Should try to do a minute. See, look at this. Woo.
My teeth are chattering.
Just float.
It's very beautiful. Should I go under?
You've been in there 20 seconds.
Are you kidding? Hey. It's very cold. It's
Yeah,
very
the timer's at a minute.
It is.
Minute total.
Bless. Muscles are working. Oh my god.
How do you feel?
Near death. No, rejuvenated.
It's not champagne, but it'll do.
Ooh. Bubbles and bubbles and bubbles.
Outside of the cold plunging, we loved discovering the country's lakes. Some of the scenery reminded me of Scandinavia, and that's pretty friggin' high praise. Apart from the spa times, the Finlaw offers some max relaxation on the banks of Lough Erne, specifically a sheltered bay area connected to Lower Lough Erne. If you'd like to test your relationship or don't feel like braving the chilly water feet first, you can borrow a kayak and float around that way. The day of our departure, we sat on the lakefront enjoying a round of elevensies. Despite breakfast that morning, we indulged in mimosas, cakes, and tea, which is apparently something hobbits like to do. It was the perfect way to end our stay at one of the most unique accommodations we've visited. Lough Erne actually has hundreds of islands scattered across it. We took an island discovery tour with the Erne Water Taxi to experience it. The award-winning tour was such a fun way to actually see the landscape from a different perspective.
It's a beautiful day for a boat ride.
The tour also comes with much banter, most of which we understood, and kingfisher spottings if you're lucky. Naturally, the weather wasn't happy with our plan and we encountered more rain, the story of the start of our trip. But there's much history here too to distract you with. You have castles, ancient sites, little islands, waterways winding through the landscape, and Lough Erne also played a pretty important role during World War II. Because of its location and protected waters, the lake became a strategic base for Allied flying boats. The U.S. actually planned a naval seaplane base here, with American workers arriving in 1941 to help construct the facilities under the Lend-Lease program. And here's the really wild part. A Catalina flying boat operating from Lough Erne was involved in spotting the German battleship Bismarck in 1941, helping the Royal Navy track it down. If you're lucky on your boat ride, you'll float by a movie prop for sale even from the James Bond film The World Is Not Enough, the one with Pierce Brosnan. Some of my favorite moments were just wandering around Northern Ireland's smaller towns. Enniskillen is a great example. Sitting between Upper and Lower Lough Erne, it's a pretty little town with colorful streets, historic buildings, shops, cafes, pubs, and water here, there, and everywhere. It feels like the kind of place where you could spend an afternoon just wandering around without much of a plan. It just rains a lot here. Everything looks, smells, and feels a little damp when it does, but I guess that's why it's so green.
It just rains a lot. It rains so much.
The worst now.
Oh, that's cute. Nice little view from here if it wasn't so wet.
Then we headed to Belfast, and we happened to arrive at a pretty extraordinary time. The Fleadh was taking place, bringing traditional Irish music and culture into the city on a massive scale. This was the first time Belfast hosted the fest, which was a huge deal for the city, and they put on a show.
And sometimes in the evening, and we heard the sound of drums, he said it won't be about us, we will always be the one.
So I had in a lick to an enemy, so we're in your so I had in a lick to an enemy, so we're in your
And then there's the Titanic. This obviously isn't some hidden gem anymore. Do you hate that phrase as much as I do, by the way? Titanic Belfast is one of the city's biggest attractions, and for good reason. But I have to admit, before visiting, I don't think I'd really understood just how much of Belfast's identity is tied to shipbuilding. This is the city that built the Titanic, and standing here, looking out toward the old shipyard, made that history feel more real. One of my favorite parts was the little shipyard ride, where you get a glimpse into a day working at the Harland and Wolff shipyard.
For Titanic then, I was there from the beginning. I watched the shipwrights lay the keel blocks and more than you needed, because the frame straightened out a little when it cooled. 1.5 tons. They were taller than the da. The plates were overlapped on the edges. Some were raised.
Belfast actually didn't love talking about his connection to the Titanic for the longest time. I mean, the thing was a tragedy, so that makes sense. It was probably hard to think about, let alone talk about. People had personal connections to it.
Yards away from the ship. The wash of the falling funnel had evidently picked us up, raft and all, and flung us clearly.
It wasn't until after the Troubles that they embraced the idea of using the city's shipbuilding past to bring more tourism to Belfast. The museum itself is very well done, so I'm glad they changed their minds. You can also visit the SS Nomadic.
Hi, Brad. Permission aboard.
Permission to board.
That's the last remaining White Star Line ship, which was built in Belfast and originally served as a tender for passengers boarding the Titanic. Fun fact, a tender is basically a small ship that transports passengers, crew, or other stuff between a larger ship and the shore when the larger ship can't dock directly. The more you know. Northern Ireland knows how to get whimsical too. This is Tollymore Forest Park, and I genuinely felt like we'd wandered onto the set of a fantasy movie. You've got enormous trees, stone bridges, moss-covered paths, streams, and Game of Thrones fans might recognize some of this scenery. Some of the park stood in for wildling country and north of the wall. But honestly, even if you've never watched the show or its ridiculously long intro sequence, this is just a ridiculously beautiful place to walk. Every time we turned a corner, there was another little scene that looked pretty fantasy-like. It doesn't feel like you're visiting an attraction, but stumbled into another world. One that involves elevensies. Okay, different fantasy world.
Hello.
And this is just one option in a country full of outdoor adventure. Northern Ireland has so much to offer travelers who love doing the nature thing. That's us.
Oh, yeah.
Hey fellow travelers, Brian here. Northern Ireland has some of the best golf in the world, so there's no way I could pass up this opportunity. First up was Ardglass Golf Club where, fun fact, they're home to the oldest golf clubhouse in the world. The main building dates back to 1405, which I'm pretty sure is about the number of putts I had during my round. It was raining at the beginning of my round, but cleared up enough for me to see so many gorgeous holes along the Irish Sea. You could even see the Isle of Man if you squinted hard enough. The highlight of my round was nearly driving the 10th hole, which I will poorly attempt to show you with the shot tracer now. This was a great warm-up for my next round, which, humble brag, was at the top-rated golf course in the world, the championship course at Royal County Down. If you've ever seen a list of the top-rated golf courses in the world, you've probably heard of this one. It's so popular, in fact, we had to book this tee time over a year in advance. I've been lucky to play many of the top-rated golf courses in the world, and I'd personally put this one right behind the old course as the best experience I've ever had in shooting way more strokes than I intended to. The first 13 holes are considered the best stretch in golf, but honestly, all 18 were spectacular. As soon as I can save up another small fortune, I'm going to play this course again. On this hole, you're supposedly to hit this one near the steeple in the distance, but I accidentally topped it straight into the gorse. Whoops! The last course I played is probably not on many bucket lists, but I still thought it was worth it anyway. Holywood Golf Club just outside of Belfast is where current Masters champion Rory McIlroy learned how to craft his game. This course might have been my favorite, actually, probably because it was the sunniest day, and it was only 40 pounds instead of 450. There was so many views over Belfast at this course. I was just so amazed. At the end of the round, we saw a nice shrine to Rory, some replicas of the majors he's won, and a nice reminder that Europe always beats the US in the Ryder Cup. Look at baby Rory and his caddy Harry, too.
One thing I definitely wasn't expecting from this trip was just how much time we'd spend by the water. Yeah, I know you're on an island while you're here, but it goes deeper than beaches. There is some of that, but the coastlines are varied. At Merlaw Nature Reserve, we walked through this incredible landscape of dunes with the Mourne Mountains in the distance. And Newcastle has this completely different seaside town feel that was maybe a tiny bit reminiscent of the Jersey Shore, thanks to its game rooms and Ferris wheel. At times it felt a little bit like Oregon too. It's its own thing probably. When you find out a place has a hedge maze, you go to there. This is Castle Welland, and tucked into the grounds is one of the world's largest hedge mazes, which is not what I expected to be doing in Northern Ireland.
In the tall grass.
Should we?
Yeah, we're going out now.
We've been in here for hours.
At least 3.
We did it. Did we cheat a little bit?
We survived.
We went
I think we won.
We went through holes and we exited out the entry that we came in.
Sounds like winning to me.
Winners. And finally, there are the castles. Hillsborough Castle is the one we picked, the official royal residence in Northern Ireland. It's surrounded by these enormous gardens and grounds. It also has a US connection, so there's that.
The sky is so blue.
You can see a draft copy of the Declaration of Independence while you're there, and hear stories about Benjamin Franklin's 5-night stay. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe it's because so many people think of it as an extension of an Ireland trip rather than a destination in its own right. But after spending 10 days here, I think that's a mistake. Northern Ireland isn't just the Giant's Causeway. We didn't even do it. Next time! I mean, look at this stuff. And now that we've seen it for ourselves and navigated the left side of the road yet again, we're not keeping any secrets. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more travel adventures.